just got off the phone with the girl who loves you too. Said you're working on yourself, is she helping with that too?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Quoted by Tiff. And this is episode 6, I believe. And today we're going to be talking about life purpose. And I know you guys are like, oh, life purpose. And it's kind of taboo. You know, it sounds like kind of, cringe to even hear that. But everybody wonders what their purpose is on this earth. I don't care who you are, whether or not you care to admit it or not. That's between you and God. But everybody has that question in their mind. What am I here for? We all have a sense of purpose. It's just kind of hard navigating what that purpose is. So today, I'm going to kind of help you out. I'm not in any way, shape, or form a life purpose professional. I'm just going to be sharing my story about how I found my life purpose, or how I found out what it involves. And hopefully it can inspire you guys to kind of dig deep within yourself and figure out what yours is as well. So without further ado, let's get it popping. Okay, y'all. So when we're talking about life purpose, I'm not talking about a career. So I'm not talking about, oh, you have your 9-to-5 job and that's your life purpose, because most likely it's probably not your life purpose. Your 9-to-5, you probably hate your 9-to-5. I wouldn't go far as saying hate. I don't hate my 9-to-5, but I know that I'm meant to be in business for myself, and that's a part of my purpose. And it's funny because I never realized that I was actually a business owner since I was 13. I've been literally braiding hair for money since I was probably from age 13 to probably about 25, 26. That's when I had my calling, like, okay, I need to stop doing this and I need to do something else. When you have that feeling inside of you that's like when you have that inkling inside of you that has you feeling like there's something else you need to be doing, and you stop yourself, everything around you will happen until you answer that call. A lot of people don't like to hear that. I know sometimes when I say things, people don't want to hear it, or people will try to act like I'm just talking. But from personal experience, if you don't listen to that calling inside of you, things will start happening that will force you to think outside of the box and in a different way to eventually go towards your purpose. And that's kind of what happened to me. Everything was like going wrong. I'm talking about losing jobs that I had for years. I one day decided that I did not want to braid hair anymore. I didn't want to do anybody's hair anymore. People were so upset at me about that, but I had to listen to myself. There was something in the world greater for me than that. That had already served its purpose. So think about it like this. I stopped having a passion for something that I had passion for years. Lost my job, lost my home, ended an abusive relationship, extremely abusive relationship, and cut ties with all of my family. Like, all of that happened in the span of me finally figuring out what my purpose is. And all of those things that happened served a purpose in my life. If I had not, walked away from my family, I definitely would not be where I am today. And I would not have the outlook on people that I have today. I feel like that situation was bittersweet. It was probably time for me to move on from my family, but I kept holding on because, you love your family. You want to try to work things out with them. But when your spirit, your soul is pulling you one way and your family is pulling you this way, you're going to go towards where your soul, your spirit is taking you. And that's kind of what happened with that. It's like I don't have any ill will towards my family, but I know I have to separate myself from them because my purpose does not involve them. I know that for a fact. When all of that happened to me, it was just horrible. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I wasn't thinking about no life purpose, nothing, when all of that stuff happened to me. I was just I was bamboozled. Like, it was just so much happening all at once. When I'm a person who tries to at least make sure, the minimal things are in place, nothing was staying in place. Like, my whole life was at an upheaval. And this was happening around probably a little bit before the pandemic. And then it's crazy because I seen people struggling during the pandemic, and during the pandemic, that's when I started to catch my footing, if that made sense. Once I cut everybody off, or some of the people I did cut off, some of the people just plain walked away from me when I needed help. Either way, I'm glad it happened. It brought me to where I am today. One of the reasons I feel that, well, I don't even think I told you guys. Okay, so for one, I'm gonna start off. I think I know that my purpose involves speaking, saying things that I've been through, just giving people that support, giving people that kind of push to, hey, you can do better, you can be better. I went through this, you can overcome this as well. I know that I'm meant to do some type of speaking to people. That's a fact. Because speaking and writing, communication in general, I always say the thing that people get upset at you about is usually the thing that you're supposed to do. People get so upset at me when I say things. And I don't say them in a rude way. I say them in a very straightforward way, a very no nonsense way, but not a rude way. And people get upset. And I started figuring out it's because some of the things that I say, they may trigger people. And that trigger is what's inside of them is something that they need to heal, but they're not ready to heal. So a lot of times I'll say things to people and they'll take it personally, not knowing that they're being triggered because it's something inside of them that they need to heal, and they're refusing to do it. So instead of them healing, they get upset at me, and they stay upset at me because I kind of called them out. And my intention is never to call anybody out. My intention is solely to help you realize your full potential. And sometimes that's not all peaches and cream. Sometimes somebody really do need to tell you about yourself, and whoever God chooses to tell you about yourself, you have to listen with open ears. You have to listen twice as much as you talk. And I think a lot of people sometimes they go on the attack mode without kind of figuring out, maybe this person is right. Maybe I need to think about this. And I think sometimes that's, as human beings, and I'm including myself in that, that's our biggest downfall, not listening. Because the signs are all around us. Things that we need are all around us. We just don't listen sometimes. Or we listen, but we don't want to apply the message just yet because we're not finished, being toxic, or we're not finished with addictions, or we're not finished with talking to this person, or we're not finished. So sometimes we choose to ignore the message. But the more you ignore the message, the louder it gets, y'all. I promise you. The more I was ignoring, like staying around certain family members, the louder it got in my mind, where I thought I was going crazy. But I wasn't going crazy. My mind, my intuition was telling me to get away from these people, and I was not paying attention. The only time I paid attention was when when I asked for help and everybody told me no. I was at a time where I really, really needed help. Me and my kids really needed help, and everybody told me no. That was when it was in my face, like, see, Tiffany, leave them alone. And that's when I left them alone. Okay, y'all. So after I left them alone, no kidding, like everything started falling back into place. Almost like it never happened. Literally, and it started falling back into place even better than when I was talking to them. So I'm not telling everybody to, like, oh, everybody needs to stop talking to their family. You have to pay attention to what's going on in your life to know what you need to do next. But my story is, once I let them go, everything in my life just fell into place. Easy. It wasn't an uphill battle or anything. Okay, guys, I do believe that the energy that you keep around you, meaning the people, the places, situations that you keep around you, they have a profound effect on the way that your life turns out. If you hang out with people that lie too much, that's always capping, always, got some drama going on, never have nothing going for themselves, always second guessing themselves, then guess what kind of energy you're going to be in? You're going to be in that same energy. Even if you're very sure about yourself, if you're around those type of people, that can rub off on you. And I I feel like I cut everybody off. And some of the people I didn't want to cut off, but in order for me to figure out who was who, I needed to do a clean sweep, y'all. And that's what I did. I did a clean sweep. And I know it shocked a lot of people, but I don't regret it because I am in a much better place mentally. I am in a much better place spiritually than I've ever been in my life because I finally figured out what I needed to do. Okay, guys. So I said all this to say your purpose is normally the thing that A, you were probably doing when you were younger, and B, people get upset at you for doing it. Think about situations where people were upset that you were doing something, and it may be something small, but that may be the key to you finding what your purpose is, or at least being on the journey to finding it. So that's all I got for y'all today. I'm very happy to be sharing a part of my life, a piece of my life with you guys because it's my testimony. I'm not embarrassed about it. You know, things happen. Life be lifing on us, y'all. And it's okay to share that with someone because someone may be going through something right now that they're embarrassed or afraid to talk about. I'm not afraid to talk about anything that I've been through because I'm not embarrassed. It was all a part of my journey that I'm still on today. Okay, guys, so thank you for listening. And have a great evening. And just think about what your purpose could be and what actions could you take in order to move closer to your purpose. Talk to you guys soon.
What goes around comes around, that's what I always say, 'cause